3 lifelong friends, 6 trusty balls, and endless NFL takes. Welcome to 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast.
Welcome to episode 41 of 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. I'm your host, Joel, and joining me today is my co-host, Will. Avery is not with us today because he is a loser, and he has a job that actually requires him to do things.
That's right. He won't hear this.
Yeah, he's not going to ever listen to this, so we can say whatever we want about him.
Avery is no longer with us for today.
All right, well, let's just jump right into my Christmas question of the week. So, Will, you can see the background. So the question is Die Hard
Absolutely, it's a Christmas movie. You don't even need to finish that. This takes place on Christmas Eve at a Christmas party. I'm tired of the slander, all right? My wife and I watch this movie every year. We wait for the kids to go to bed. It is absolutely a Christmas movie. It's on Christmas Eve at a work Christmas party. Okay, just because there's guns and explosions and shooting and yippee-ki-yays doesn't mean it's not a Christmas movie, all right?
You left out a part.
Yeah, I did. I don't want to say sorry, Dwayne, this early.
All right, cool. I agree with you. It's 100% a Christmas movie. I agree. So let's just keep going here. Will, give us your wrap up of week, what was it, 15?
Week 15. Week 15 wrap up. Started off Thursday. Falcons at Bucks. Sorry, Joel. Kyle Pitts finally shows up and plays a real football game. Too bad this game only mattered to the Rams in the draft. The Bucks don't need to worry. They still have a lot of meaningful football left. They play the Panthers twice in the last 3 weeks, and that really is going to be what matters to them in the playoffs.
Before you move on, sorry, I just have a question for you, Will.
Listening.
Well, I want to say one thing, and then I have a question for you. So
Yes.
One thing I want to say about this game is all those penalties that the Falcons got. Like I watched this game, and in any game I watch, I always watch the penalties and say like that is a penalty or it shouldn't be a penalty. Just from like my perspective,
Sure.
All the penalties that were called on the Falcons were penalties. The only calls that the referees missed in this game were the calls that went against the Buccaneers. I do not think that Kyle Pitts touchdown, the last touchdown where his elbow and butt hit at the same time, was a touchdown. I think his elbow hit first, in my opinion. I'm not a ref, but in my opinion, I think it was not a touchdown. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Bucs fan. I'm saying that just as somebody who watches football. Also, there was 2 fumbles in that game where they ruled that the Falcons got the ball incorrect. Both times, incorrect. The Buccaneers got both of those balls, in my opinion. So the 3 calls that they got wrong were against the Buccaneers, and that's the reason why. I mean, it's not the reason why they lost, but it's the reason why they lost. So,
I get what you're saying.
But my question for you is, if you were in my position as a Buccaneers fan, would you want to make the playoffs, knowing that you're probably not going to win a playoff game if you do? Or would you not want to make the playoffs and get a better draft pick?
At this point in the season, I'm making the playoffs. We're going to win the South. We're going to get a home playoff game because when you get there, anything can happen.
Sure.
I mean, look at the 7-seeded Packers, right? 7-seeded Packers, 2011 or something like that, went on to win the Super Bowl, right?
The Giants.
The Giants, yeah, beat
Somehow.
the undefeated Patriots. Perfect example. Thank you. So, especially you have the most absolute dog in the entire NFL in Baker Mayfield. And if anybody can make magic happen, it's going to be that man. So let's make the playoffs. Let's get a home playoff game. Our crowd, our home field. We may be probably going to be on the road for the second round, but that doesn't really matter because when we get past the first round, we'll just make magic. We'll keep making magic happen.
I agree with you. I just was asking because I've thought about it both ways. So I was just curious what you would say.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Proceed.
Oh, good. Ravens at Bengals. Are the Ravens good at football or not? They can't decide. The Ravens shut out the Bengals, and I don't know if you've seen the interviews or not, but someone needs to check on Joe Burrow. That boy is sad. Raiders at Eagles. The Raiders beat the Eagles, of course they did. I mean, whatever, right? Like, who cares? They shut the Eagles shut the Raiders out. Excuse me. Maybe it wasn't just Geno Smith. All right. Kenny Pickett threw 15 completions for 64 total yards. That's bad. 15 completions, not attempts. Completed the ball 15 times for 64 yards. That's bad. Cardinals at Texans. Texans stomp the Cardinals. This Texans team is sneaky good, but they're really bad for TV, so nobody knows it. Not a lot of people don't want to watch their team get booed at home when this Texans defense is shutting them down. Now I know they were at home this week, but still, they don't put them on prime time because they're a defensive team. Offense is good enough. Offense is Super Bowl good enough, I do believe, and the defense is as well. But when they're shutting the other team's offense down, that's not what they want to put on TV. So, also, this Cardinals team is terrible. Chargers Chiefs. Well. The Chargers didn't charger this time. And yes, Mahomes got hurt, but they weren't going to win that game anyway. Also, there is an unbelievable amount of conspiracy theories that can go into this. Well, Patrick Mahomes just got hurt, so we didn't have to play a snap when they were mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Or he got hurt because they weren't going to make the playoffs anyway. Yeah. This man, Patrick Mahomes is a competitor. He's not getting hurt on purpose. This was not a road to game thing. This is not that. I'm not thrilled.
Why is that even a thing?
Oh, I don't know. It's out there. The internet's a wild place. I lost it. Nope.
Chargers.
I lost it. Nope. Doesn't matter. All right, moving on. Bills at Pats. Pats got up early and it looked over, but then the Bills remembered that they need to let James cook. So he did there. And allowed Superman to fly over the snow.
That one cooked. That cooked right there.
Thank you. And allowed Superman to fly over the snow in a huge comeback win to stay relevant in the playoff talks. I mean, if you want to see a tale of two halves there, just watch this Bills-Pats game. I mean, it was 21-0 early, and everyone was like, even I was like, well, I guess this kind of is what it is. Patriots are good this year, and the Bills have not been as good. And then all of a sudden, yes, we have.
I know you're a Rams fan, Will, and you're a big pro Matthew Stafford for MVP, but Josh Allen.
Yeah, he's sneaking in there. He's for sure sneaking in there.
Not even like put statistics aside. If you just take the guy who is most valuable to his team.
For sure, yes.
Josh Allen, 100%. So, yeah.
I don't disagree.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
I don't disagree. I don't like it, but I don't disagree. Jets at Jags. Only against the Jets can the QB be the leading rusher and the running back be the leading receiver. Jags continue their hot streak. Trevor Lawrence played an unbelievable game. He was so good this week. Jags continue their hot streak as they try to win the AFC South. Commanders at Giants. Truly, who cares? Commanders win. Browns at Bears. Bears beat the Browns, but that's what was supposed to happen. The only thing I wish could have happened was that Myles Garrett broke the sack record against Caleb Williams, so we have to watch that highlight over and over and over again. But the Browns play the Bills this week, so unfortunately, however you want to call it, chances are pretty high that we will see Myles Garrett sack Josh Allen over and over and over again as he breaks the sack record. I think he's one sack away from tying it, a sack and a half away from breaking it, which is very possible with this Bills offensive line. Although Josh Allen, pretty good too. Panthers at Saints. Hey, Saints win a big one for the Bucs.
Go Saints. Let's freaking go, Tyler Shuck. Let's go.
Saints win a big one for the Bucs. 10-point comeback for Tyler Shuck is huge. Maybe I was wrong about the old man. Maybe he's not bad. In back-to-back weeks, the Saints beat the Buccaneers and the Panthers. They're trying to make a name for themselves in the South. Just, a bit late. Lions at Rams. Lions look great early and then forget football's 4 quarters until it's too late. Rams win a big one to take first place back in the NFC. Colts at Seattle Seahawks. When all your points come off of somebody's foot, I'm assuming I'm watching soccer. Jason Myers ruined the fairy tale story for the old man. It was Pawpaw's one time to win a football game, but that just didn't quite happen. Packers at Broncos. Broncos finally beat a team by more than one score. Also was for 4 starters to get hurt during that game, including a man who was probably the best closing pass rusher in the game right now. Vikings at Cowboys. Why was this a primetime game? Why on earth do we have 2 non-playoff competing teams in primetime? We probably have Jerry Jones to thank for that. And technically, Dallas has not been eliminated yet. If they win out and the Eagles lose out, they can still make the playoffs.
It's like a
less than 1% chance, but here we go. Minnesota goes down to Dallas, and 9 decides to be a quarterback this week and sticks it to a lackluster Dallas defense. And then we've got Dolphins at Steelers, and we've got the same cold Dolphins. Tua isn't great overall, let alone when the weather outside is frightful. Mike Tomlin never lost a Monday Night Football game at home in his career as a head coach. Interesting stat.
Pretty good.
And that was week 15.
All right. Well, what we've got for you guys today is we're just going to talk about some division races. There's a lot of very, very close division races left with 3 weeks left in the season. And so we're not going to go over all the divisions. I think the NFC East we're not going to talk about. And I forget that, was it the AFC West we're not talking about?
No, can't.
Yes, AFC West.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the AFC West because the Broncos have a 2-game lead over the Chargers. So we're going to try and talk about every division where the leading team does not have a 2-game lead. So every other division, aside from the AFC West and the NFC East, do not have 2-game leads in the division right now. So there's a lot of close division races. So what we're going to do is, I think, Will, what we'll do is we'll just take turns picking which division we want to talk about. And I will let you pick first.
Well, I gotta go AFC or NFC West, right? Like I have to. We gotta start where the race is the hottest. If I can find it.
Oh, wait. Before we start, I'm going to share my screen because we've got this cool little NFL playoff machine where you can predict the games and it'll tell you the outcomes of like who will make the playoffs. Let's see. Let me change the screen here so we can see this better.
Provided by
Is that better?
ESPN.com. Not an ad, just that's who's doing it. Yes, that is better.
Okay, cool.
So the only game that really matters is this Thursday, right? We open up Thursday. There are some good football games this week. We've got Rams at Seahawks. And the way it sits right now is whoever wins that game, chances are incredibly high, they're going to get the number 1 seed in the NFC. Chances are high. It's not guaranteed, obviously. And going into Seattle has somehow, as I've been told on social media, been easier to win against Seattle than Seattle on the road. Now, Seattle just played a game where they didn't score an offensive touchdown, and it was at home. They played the Colts at home. So that's not great for the Seattle. But we've got 3 teams, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, all with 10 or more wins. Rams are 11-3.
That's insane.
Rams are 11-3. Seahawks are 11-3. 49ers are 10-4. And coming down the stretch here, we've got Rams Seahawks this week. Niners play the Colts, and the Colts it's in Indianapolis. That's not a guaranteed win for the Niners, but given the fact that we don't have the same Colts team at the start of the year, chances are 49ers are going to win that game. Then next week, Rams play the Falcons, which matters a lot to the Rams because they want to get that draft pick. And the Niners play the Bears. That's going to be a big game, and hoping that the Bears don't make the playoffs. I actually want the Niners to win that game. And the Seahawks play the Panthers at Carolina. Now, I actually think the Panthers.
Seahawks.
I actually think the Panthers are going to win that game. The Panthers beat the Rams. They beat the Packers. They beat the Bucks. No, they haven't played the Bucks yet, right? They played the Bucks twice in the last 3 weeks.
They haven't played the Bucks yet.
Yeah. So they've beat some good teams when they shouldn't have. I actually think the Panthers steal one against the Seahawks there. And in week 18, Rams at Cardinals, you can all but chalk it up to a win. And then Niners Seahawks play in the last week of the season in Santa Clara. I think the NFC race is going to come down to the very end. Let's just say the Seahawks win this week against the Rams. The Rams are going to have to win out and hope the Niners win against the Seahawks. And the Niners are going to have this. The scenarios are so insane for who's
So look at this scenario. So if the Seahawks win, okay?
Yep. They jump up to first place immediately.
The 49ers want the Seahawks to win because if the Rams win, the 49ers won't get the 1 seed. But if the Seahawks win, the 49ers can still get the 1 seed, believe it or not. So if Seattle wins, and then we've got San Francisco against the Colts, so they win, then in week 17, let's just say the Rams win, they beat the Falcons. If the 49ers beat the Bears, and then the Seahawks beat the Panthers. So currently, the Seahawks would be the 1 seed in week 17. Then it's Seahawks and 49ers. If the 49ers win that game, regardless of what happens in the Rams game, the 49ers would be the 1 seed. So the 49ers want the Seahawks to beat the Rams because that's their only shot at getting the 1 seed.
So, okay, going back to this, in this scenario here, how many games do the Packers have to win to steal the 1 seed from the Niners? Because we can't really just talk about the NFC West, right? We kind of have to talk about the whole NFC
Right.
as a whole.
So let's see. So if the Packers beat the Bears,
Because that
then
tie
the
they
Packers beat
have,
the Ravens, and then the Packers beat
the Vikings,
the Vikings, they
they
can't.
can't do it. They can't do it.
They can't do it. No, because they would only have 12 wins, and the 49ers
Yeah.
would have 13. So yeah, I think that these three teams, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, are the teams that have the best chance to get the 1 seed, which is crazy that they're all in the same division. There's so many different possibilities in this division. It's crazy.
I think it's crazy that with all of the injuries the Niners have sustained this year, that we're sitting here looking at Week 16, and it's still possible for them to be the 1 seed. I mean, that's just crazy. Good for them. Truly good for them. That's true team resilience.
Yeah. So there's actually, I believe, I could be wrong here, but I believe that there's only 4 teams that can still get the 1 seed in the NFC. It's the 49ers, the Bears, the Seahawks, and the Rams. Because as we just saw, even if the Packers win out, well, that's not true. I guess the Packers could still get it. It just depends on how the games go. Right.
Yeah, if everyone else
And I guess
decides to
technically,
lose,
yeah, I guess the Eagles could still technically get it, but they have 5 losses, so they're just at a disadvantage because there's a couple teams in there that only have 3 losses. So
right.
I would say if the Eagles still technically can get it, then they're at a huge disadvantage.
And let me tell you, the one thing I don't really want Seattle. Well, in order of teams I would want to get the number 1 seed, we've got Rams first, Seattle second, everyone else last. That's where that sits. Like I don't even want the Bears to make the playoffs, which is still possible. The Bears don't even make the playoffs. They're playing now with the injuries to the Packers. Chances they make the playoffs jump exponentially. It's crazy that's the one guy. Now, not that the Packers only had 1 pass rusher, but the one guy that really had the opportunity to shut Caleb Williams down because Caleb Williams very mobile, can throw on the run fairly well. I'll give him his flowers when he deserves it. I don't like it. And I don't usually give him his flowers, but he has improved over the year mechanically, not stat-wise, but mechanically as a quarterback. And so that I kind of have to give him, I guess. But boy, howdy, if they don't make the playoffs, guess who's going to rip them a new one? Me. It's me. I'm the guy. But they play the Packers.
I mean,
sorry, you go.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, while we're, like you said, we're going to have to kind of bounce around here a little bit. So while we're talking about the Packers a little bit, like you just mentioned, without Micah Parsons, that's a huge blow to the Packers. The Packers have 33 sacks as a team this year. Micah Parsons has 12 and a half of those.
8 of them in the 4th quarter. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's 37.8% of the Packers' total sacks that Micah Parsons had by himself. Their next leading guy is Rashawn Gary, who had 7.5 sacks this year. But that's kind of one of the reasons why the Packers went and got Micah Parsons, is because Gary's a really good pass rusher. But what teams would do is, because, he's the main guy, they would double team him. But with Micah Parsons, they couldn't do that because there was a bigger threat than him on the field.
Right.
So now with Micah Parsons gone, it allows teams to double team Gary again, which I think the Packers can still be a solid defense. Like they're not just Micah Parsons, right? Like they're more than just Micah Parsons on defense. They're still going to be a solid defense, but Micah Parsons was a game changer for them. And without those 12.5 sacks that he has brought this year, that's just a huge, huge blow to that defense.
Let's take a step back here. Let's fill this out. Go to Week 16. Let's fill this out. Okay?
Let me clear it.
Okay.
Okay, so Week 16.
Let's just go through. We've got what, 32 and 16, 48 games to pick real quick. I mean, we have to give the edge to the Seahawks right there at home. I feel like as much as I want the Rams to win, we have to give the edge to the Seahawks. Yeah?
Okay, so you got Seahawks. I'm going Eagles there.
Eagles. And I don't want to do
this
it.
one.
I feel like you go Bears. Because of the injuries, let's go Bears for now because they're at home. Let's give them the edge because they're at home. And we can flip it around and play with it later we'll let the Packers win.
All right, so we'll go Saints here.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to pick
games
the
that
Jets
don't matter.
in any game.
In games that don't matter, let's just pick the home team to move on.
Okay, So pick the Bills, obviously.
Yep.
I think I'm still going Chiefs, even though they don't have Mahomes. Cowboys and Chargers. Chargers.
I think the Chargers win that game.
Okay.
I think, yeah, this game doesn't matter. I would like to see the
The home
Giants
team,
win.
you said?
Yeah, home team. I would
I'll let
like
you
to
pick
think
this one.
I would like to think the Bucks win, but I don't know. I think it splits home and home is what happens here with this series.
So here is, since we're on this game, let me just give you some facts here about this division race. Okay. So both of these teams are 7-7. The Bucks and Panthers, both 7-7 right now. They both have a chance to win the NFC South, but the Bucks still have more control than the Panthers do. So here's a couple scenarios. If the Buccaneers win their next two games, so if they win at the Panthers and they win at the Dolphins, the Buccaneers win the division. That last game, Week 18 game, means absolutely nothing. The Buccaneers will win that division. Now, if the Bucks beat the Panthers this week and then they lose to the Dolphins and the Panthers lose to the Seahawks, Bucks also win the division. So that Seahawks game is big. These next 2 weeks are big because there's a lot of different possibilities. It could also come down to Week 18 where that game really does mean something. Because if the Panthers win, obviously the Buccaneers are going to have to beat them to win the division in Week 18. Unless the Panthers beat the Seahawks after beating the Bucks in Week 16. So if that's the case, then the Panthers would win. And if the Buccaneers win their next two games, the Bucks win. So there's a possibility that Week 18 means absolutely nothing, but there's also a possibility that it means a lot.
I love football. It's so fun. I think we split it home and home. That's what I think happens.
Home and home? Okay.
I think we go Panthers.
Okay. So then Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins.
I'm going Broncos over the Jags. I just don't believe in the Jags.
With the way the team's been playing, I think I believe in the Jags more than I believe in the Broncos right now.
Really?
I'll buy into the Broncos just for right now, but I think pretty much no matter what, the Jags get the 3 seed in the AFC.
I know everybody's on the Trevor Lawrence train right now, but that was against the terrible defense.
Well, they've got 5. They're on a 5-win streak right now, and he's been hot for a while. Jacoby Myers has made a huge difference for this team.
He has, that's true. But look at when the Jaguars played the Rams. Like, they got crushed.
Well,
absolutely crushed.
I know, right?
I personally don't think that Trevor Lawrence is going to do well against this Broncos defense. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to Trevor Lawrence when he plays the Broncos defense. And that's why I don't believe in the Jags in this game and in the playoffs, because Trevor Lawrence is likely going to be the worst quarterback in the AFC playoffs. So that's why I don't believe in the Jags. Just because of Trevor Lawrence. I like that defense a lot, but Trevor Lawrence, I think he sucks. All right, we'll just go Cardinals on this one because you want the Falcons to lose. Texans, I'm taking the Texans. I'm not picking the Raiders. Are you going Steelers or Lions?
I think this game means more to the Lions to get in the playoffs. I think I go Lions here.
Yeah, I think so too.
As we talked about last week with Steve, desperation matters. Yeah, it's Patriots. They're not going to come off that loss to the Bills and lose again.
Yeah, and then do you think the Niners or Colts?
Yeah, Niners.
Niners, I agree. Okay, so that's week 16. So week 17, we've got
Cowboys. Let's pause right here. Let's pause right here. Let's look at our playoff.
Okay.
So we've got Seattle. So the NFC, Seattle's the 1 seed, and then nothing else really changes except for the fact that the Panthers moved in. Well, I guess that's not true. San Francisco jumped up to the 5 seed. Los Angeles dropped all the way down to 6,
and the Bucks are out. Right
the
now.
Bucks are out. Panthers are in. Yeah.
Okay, so week 17. So Cowboys at Commanders. We're just going with the home team there.
Doesn't matter. Home team wins. Yep. I don't think Detroit loses to Minnesota because again, it matters too much for Detroit right now.
Yep. And I'm going to take the Broncos because the Chiefs don't have Mahomes. You're going Texans or Chargers?
Texans. That defense is better than the Chargers offense by far.
All right, and then are you taking the Packers against the Ravens?
I think I am. I think I'm taking the Packers here.
Okay. We're going Steelers over the Browns.
Yep.
Patriots over the Jets.
For sure. Doesn't matter.
Saints over the... Yeah, I guess we'll just pick the Titans, whatever.
Yeah.
Are you going to take the Colts or the Jags?
No, Jags hit the full season sweep against the Colts this year again.
Okay. Bucks or Dolphins?
I'm taking the Bucks. I think the Bucks are a better team. The Dolphins are already talking about not starting Tua this week, and already talking about maybe even Quinn Ewers gets the start because Zach Wilson's the backup technically, but why put Zach Wilson and you know what you have there? Put in Quinn Ewers, see what you have with him. So
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just let you make the pick here. Are you said you think the Panthers are going to win that
I
game?
truly think the Panthers will beat the Seahawks. I do.
Because if that's the case, if Week 16 plays out like we have it right now, the Bucks are out. If the Panthers win, the Bucks are out. Well, actually, no, sorry, no. If the Bucks win
'cause the
against
Bucks
Miami,
win, yeah,
sorry, I had
yeah.
that wrong. Yeah, if the Bucks win against Miami, then they're not out. It will come down to the Week 18 game. So then
Right.
we got the Bengals because they're at home, Raiders because they're at home, Bills or Eagles.
I think Bills. I think the Bills because they're at home. Not that the cold weather matters because these two stadiums are like 4 hours apart or whatever. I mean, a fact checked on that hard, but the Bills are trying to win for the playoffs, where the Eagles have the NFC East. They're not coasting, but they're not in danger of not making the playoffs. And really, there is
Right.
no
Okay,
difference.
so then
There's not a big difference between 3 and 4 seed.
right. Okay, so then we got the Bears at the 49ers. I know you want the 49ers to win. Are you taking the 49ers though?
I don't know. I'll let you pick.
I'll just go 49ers because it's fun to see this NFC West race.
Yeah. So that
Hey.
puts the Niners at the win, and then Rams and against the Falcons.
Yeah, I already picked the Rams
in the 1 seed, Seattle in the 5 seed, or Seattle in the 6 seed, Los Angeles in the 5 seed, and then nothing else moves.
Yep. Okay, so on to Week 18,
And that puts 3 teams in the NFC West at 12 and 4.
which is wild.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. All right. So then we've got Rams at Cardinals in Week 18. So Rams are going to win.
Broncos.
Are you going Broncos or Chargers?
Broncos get the sweep over the Chargers.
I know we said this game doesn't matter, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs because the Raiders.
I'm never picking the Raiders. Although we did pick the Raiders to beat the Giants. That's not.
Okay, so while we're on this game, the Patriots Dolphins at Patriots in Week 18. So we might as well talk about it while we're going through this. In the AFC East, the only way for the Bills to win this division is if the Patriots lose to either the Jets or the Dolphins. The Patriots do play the Ravens this week, but if the Ravens were to beat the Patriots, even if the Bills win, the Patriots are still leading that division. The Patriots have to lose to a AFC East opponent in order for the Bills to win that division. So it comes down to the Jets and the Dolphins game, and I don't see either of those outcomes happening where the Patriots lose either of those games, but just a fact, if the Bills want to win the division, they need to hope and pray that the Patriots lose to either the Jets or the Dolphins, and the Bills have to win out. But we'll go with Patriots in this one. Going Eagles against the Commanders.
Yeah.
Are you going Steelers or Ravens?
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, at this point it would not, because if the Ravens lose in Week 16 to the Patriots and then lose in Week 17 to the Packers, with how we have it, we have the Steelers losing in Week 16 but then winning in Week 17 against the Browns. If the Ravens win this game, Steelers are 9-8, but they're still winning the division. So this game truly does not matter.
Right, unless the Ravens can beat the Packers.
Right.
Which
the Ravens would have to win. Yeah.
I just don't.
The Ravens would have to win one of those games. Right. Okay, so then this is the big one right here. So Seahawks at 49ers.
I truly think, given Mike McDonald's history, his tenure, I guess, his record, I think I give this to the Seahawks. Although Sam Darnold is declining as the year goes on. He is playing worse as this year is going on. I don't know if the ghosts are coming back or what's happening. His trends throughout the season has been trending downward. And I know some Seahawks fans, well, that's not true because his QBR on average is 17.67. Who gives a rip? You just look at him. Look at him play. They didn't score an offensive touchdown last week. That's not good. You played the Colts, who don't have Sauce Gardner. Like they're gettable. And you got them, sure, but thanks to the new kickoff rules. more than anything else, truly. So I do give this one to the Seahawks, but I don't feel good about it.
All right, so let's look at both scenarios though in this. So if the Seahawks win, the Rams would be the 1 seed, assuming the Rams beat the Cardinals and the Falcons after losing to the Seahawks in week 16.
Yep.
The Rams would still be the 1 seed if Seattle beats the 49ers. But if the 49ers win, the 49ers jump to the 1, Rams are the 5, and Seattle is the 6.
And this is crazy. What I'm about to say is absolutely insane. You want the 1 seed. You want to get your players, your team, you want to get them the extra rest. I don't know if I hate going down to Carolina and getting an extra week's worth of reps in. I don't know if I hate that. Now, the Panthers did beat the Rams earlier this year. The Panthers did beat the Rams earlier this year. I get it. I would rather have the bye week. But how many times have you seen the bye week team get rusty during that bye week and then lose? They lose focus.
Yeah, it happens quite often.
And this is going to sound bad, but it's not like playing in Los Angeles has been much of a home field advantage anyway. I mean, you're coming down to Los Angeles where you're in a canopy. It's not technically a dome, it's a canopy, and it's good weather. Everyone plays better in good weather, and so it's not like you're getting the weather to your advantage. Now, home field advantage would be nice because you don't have to go play in Philadelphia. You don't have to go play in Chicago. You don't have to go play anywhere like that. So you do want home field for that, but it's not like you're going to gain an advantage with the weather. But I do think Seattle wins this game. But I don't know. Well, we don't have any time frames set yet for order of games. I guarantee the Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners game will be played at the same time. They will be in the same time slot. That way, you don't get Seahawks, Niners in the morning. Seahawks win. Rams sit all their players. They will be at the same time, so you have to play. NFL does it on purpose, and I absolutely love that they do that. You put the games that matter and are in competition with each other at the same time. That way you can't sack the game because, it doesn't matter anyway. Because if the Seahawks win and the Rams lose this week, I mean, it doesn't really matter. If the Rams have to win either way, but still, it's better to see at the same time. Hey, let's have it go at the same time.
Isn't that a Thursday night football game though for the Rams?
No, there is no Thursday night in Week 18. It's only
boo.
I think it's only Saturday. I think it's only Saturday and Sunday. It might only be Sunday. There might not be Saturday either. I know we get Saturday games this week. We get Saturday games next week. I think Week 18 is all Sunday games.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so you're going Seattle on that one? Seattle versus Niners?
I am. And not just because the Rams get the 1 seed. I actually think they're going to win.
Okay. So then Texans and Colts.
Texans. Rivers might die in that game. That Texans defense is too he can't move.
If he makes it that far.
If he makes it that far. I love this Philip Rivers story, but I am scared for this man every single snap.
It's a good thing he's a little bit thicker than he was before. He's got some extra padding on him.
Hey, you know what? Right. Good for him. He was retired. Also, if you haven't heard this, sorry, I'm going to digress on Philip Rivers here. If you don't know about the NFL and their retirement and the insurance and stuff like that, and you haven't heard it yet, the way the insurance works in the NFL is it lasts for 5 years after you retire. So long as you play X amount of years, you get your benefits and insurance, stuff like that. It's part of their CBA, their collective bargaining agreement to their players' union. That's what they've negotiated. Philip Rivers, at the end of this season, this is his 5th year retired. So his insurance benefits
he's using his head.
Would drop off. Well, he did, and that's how he has 10 kids. Literally 10 kids. And at 1 grandkid, 2 grandkids, I don't know, but he has at least 1 grandchild. And so this man's like, hey, wait a minute. I'm about to have to pay how much money for insurance? Ain't no way. Shane Steichen, hook me up, pal. So that's playing 4D chess out here. That's what's happening. I love it. I love this story, and I want the Colts to make the playoffs. As much as I don't think they're going to, I want them to just for the story. Just so Disney in 3 years can write a movie about it. And have Kevin, what's that guy's name? Kevin James play Philip Rivers just like he played Sean Payton. If there was ever a bad casting, Kevin James playing Sean Payton, that is some wild stuff. I cannot believe that. Anyway.
Anyways, okay, so Cowboys at Giants, we're just going with the home team.
Yep.
Browns at
Bengals over
Bengals, home
Browns.
team. Lions at Bears. I know who you're picking.
This game, this is arguably the most important game of the entire day.
I was just going to say the same thing. Like, if the Lions win, the Bears are out based off of how we have it right now. The Bears would be out. If the Bears win, the Lions are out, and the Bears would be in the
get the
2
2
spot.
seed.
Yeah.
That's crazy. A 10-win team just doesn't make the playoffs.
All right. So next game here, I know you want the Falcons to lose, but I'm just going to pick them because they're the home team.
Falcons are going to win that game. Although, Bills over Jets for sure. I'm going Packers over Vikings, I think. And then split the home and home series.
So this is where the Bucks make the playoffs.
And then we go Jags over Titans.
Okay. So again, this is based off of just how we picked these games. It's not saying that how these games are going to go, but this is how we pick these games. So on the AFC side, the Broncos are in the 1 spot. The 2 seed goes to the Patriots. 3 seed is the Texans, so they come back and actually win the division in this scenario. The Steelers are the 4, Bills are the 5, Jaguars are the 6, and the Chargers are the 7 seed. On the NFC side, we have the Rams in the 1 spot. We've got the Bears at the 2 seed. Well, actually, who are you picking in that game? Are you picking the Lions or are you picking the Bears?
I don't know, Joel. I don't know.
Okay, let's just say the Lions
are better. I think the Lions are a better team.
All right, Lions.
Well, yeah, let's just say the Bears win.
Okay, so on the NFC side, we've got. Okay, I picked the Lions on there, so I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so we got the NFC side. We've got the Rams at the 1 seed. The Packers would be the 2 seed. Philadelphia Eagles at the 3 seed. The Bucks at the 4 seed. Seattle as the 5 seed. The 49ers as the 6, and the Detroit Lions as the 7 seed.
Something crazy about that, on the NFC side, I see all 3 low seeds winning their first round games.
Yeah. Now, the only scenario where I think that could change is I actually want, because there is a possibility where the 49ers can finish ahead of the Seahawks. I actually want the Seahawks to move down to the 6, and I want the 49ers to move up to the 5. And I'm not just saying that because the Buccaneers already beat the 49ers, but the Buccaneers beat the Seahawks too. But I do not think that the Buccaneers will win that game if they play the Seahawks again in the playoffs because of that defense. The Seahawks defense is very good, very good. And I do not think that the Buccaneers would beat them again. I do think that they have a chance if they play the 49ers that they could beat the 49ers. I don't think that they would beat the Seahawks though.
It's possible if the Seahawks were to lose out. Not that they're going to do that. If Seahawks lose out, they miss the playoffs. That's kind of still the reality we're in. But if they lose to the Rams this week, beat the Panthers next week, and then lose to the 49ers in the last week, that's the scenario you're talking about. Where if nothing else changes except the Seahawks games, where we kind of flip them, where they lose to the Rams.
So let me do it real
16?
quick. So in week 18,
16?
I picked the 49ers.
Oh.
Then I picked oh, nope, that's the wrong one. The Panthers, we already have them winning. And then the Rams.
So we need the Seahawks to win in 18, or in 17. Seahawks beat the Panthers in week 17.
Yep.
And then in week 16.
We're talking about if the Seahawks lose, right?
Oh, yeah, let's go if they lose out.
So, okay, so if we have the Rams beating them in week 16, the Panthers beating them in week 17, and the 49ers beating them in week 18, Seahawks would be out.
Seahawks are out, and the Bears and Lions sneak in, and we get 3 AFC North teams rather than 3 NFC North teams rather than 3 NFC West teams. But in the same scenario, if the Seahawks beat the Panthers in week 17, then the Seahawks, this is what you were just talking about, the Niners jump the Seahawks, and the Niners become the 5 seed and go to Tampa Bay, and Seattle goes to Philadelphia.
Yep. And I just think that matchup is much better for the Buccaneers to face the 49ers rather than the Seahawks or the Lions or really any other team. I just think that would be the best first round matchup that the Buccaneers could have. They still could lose that game,
Yeah.
but I just think that would be the best matchup for them. Going up to the NFC North real quick, I truly think that the winner of Packers and Bears this week will win the NFC North. I think whoever wins that game will end up winning the division. It's possible that the loser could still end up winning the division, but I think that the winner of that game will end up winning the NFC North because it will give them an advantage. And if you go through these scenarios, if the Packers beat the Bears would have to win out and the Packers would have to lose one of their two remaining games. But if the Bears beat the Packers would have to win out and the Bears would have to lose out.
And that's probably not going to happen.
Probably not. So I just think that whoever wins this game this week in week 16 will be the winner of the NFC North. Because the Lions can't do it. The Lions basically have to win out if they want any shot at the playoffs, but they need some help from other teams.
Mhm.
And so it's between the Packers and the Bears. I give the advantage to the Packers just because their division record is better, but there is still a chance that the Bears could win the NFC North. So let's just say that the Bears win that game and then they beat the 49ers. That flips it. So that would flip it. So the Bears would be in the 2 spot, winning their division, and the Packers would move to the 6 seed. There's so many different possibilities that could happen in the last 3 weeks. It's crazy.
I love it. Okay, Joel, here's a semi off topic question. The Packers are 4-0 in their division. Only one other team in the National Football League across both divisions is also undefeated inside their division. Any idea what team that is?
Oh, let me think. Chargers.
It is the Chargers. You are correct. It is the Chargers. They're
I
5-0 in their division.
actually just saw that today, like a couple hours ago. I think that's the first time, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the first time the Chargers have ever done that.
And what division game do they have left?
They play the Broncos
Week 18.
in week 18. But the Broncos have a 2-game lead in that division. So the Broncos would have to lose at least 2 games, right? So let's just say the Jaguars beat the Broncos and then the Chargers beat the Texans. Then the Chargers beat the Broncos. Yeah. So the Broncos would have to lose at least 2 games and the Chargers would have to win out. And then the Chargers would win their division.
In this scenario, even if the Broncos beat the Chiefs in week 17, the Chargers win out. Chargers win the division. So long as the Jags. So the Broncos have to lose their week 16 and week 18. If they lose to the Jags this week,
yes,
beat the Chiefs next week, but then lose to the Chargers can still win the division. I love football.
Well,
Man,
since they play in week 18, let's see. So if the Broncos lose to the Chiefs somehow in week 17 and the Chargers lose to the Texans in week 17, it would still come down to that week 18 game.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So they don't necessarily have to win out, but if they lose a game, they'd be relying on the other team to also lose a game.
Yeah. Oh, I could talk about this for quite literally hours. It's been an hour almost. But I could talk about scenarios and teams and everything like that for literally hours. It is never ending. The possibilities, the options, so fun.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the AFC North because we haven't talked much about the Steelers and Ravens. So
no one wants to win this division. That's the problem, is that they both don't want to win.
Okay, so let's see so week 16, we've got the Steelers at the Lions. I just don't see a way where the Steelers are winning that game.
I also don't.
I don't.
The Lions have to pretty much win out to make the playoffs. The Lions are about to play some of the best 3 games I think we've seen all year. I think they play Aiden Hutchinson's pick on Matt Stafford 100,000 times in the locker room this week. Look at what our defense can do. Look at what we can do. Look. And then all of a sudden, that they start to revamp that defense. Because clearly, the offense is good. The Lions' offense is very good. That defense is the problem. And the Steelers, sorry, Megan, the Steelers' offense is not scaring a single person right now. It's just not. And that defense has kind of come together, which makes sense that it's been so late because they're all free agents this year. This is a lot of their first year in the Steelers organization because they've got the highest paid defense. They just haven't played like it.
Right.
So
So
yeah, I don't see a way that the Lions don't win this game.
yeah, I think the Lions are winning. I think the Steelers win against the Browns. I mean, anything could happen. It's a division game, but I think the Steelers win that game. So really, the Ravens have to win against either the Patriots or the Packers if they want that last Week 18 game to mean anything. And I don't know if I see either of those scenarios happening because if you look at the Ravens' wins, they don't really have any impressive wins. And they just don't seem like the same Ravens that we've seen in years past.
Yeah, I was playing with this play. I also have the playoff machine open. I was playing with it a bit as well to see different scenarios. I think you're right. This Ravens team has just been different this year and not a good way. They're having, you can call it a down year, but it seems to be a bit more than that. I've seen a couple things online. I don't know. I don't put much stock in it, but I've seen a couple things where it's like there's an actual possibility that we get 3 new head coaches in the AFC North next year. Probably not. Tomlin's not going anywhere if he doesn't want to. Harbaugh probably not going anywhere. Stefanski, his ass got to get fired. Sorry, Dwayne. He's got to get out of there.
He has to go.
I mean, I forgot to mention this in my wrap up, but 2 weeks ago, Browns have a shot to win on a 2-point conversion. And Stefanski goes, you know what we should do? We should take Shador out of this play and let our running back throw a backwards halfback pass that's going to fail miserably. Let's take one of our best athletes off the field, the guy who's been learning the offense. Let's not put Shador in. Let's go ahead and just boot his butt to the curb. What are we doing, Stefanski? You're trying to lose.
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
I'm not over that still, and I don't even like the Browns. I'm not over that.
It's clear that he does not like Shedeur Sanders. Like, he probably didn't. He's probably the reason why they passed on Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
But then, when it got to the 5th round, it was probably like the owner was probably like, okay, like, we got to take him now. Go ahead, Will.
I saw this thing. I saw this thing on Instagram, so it must have been true. Kevin Stefanski's wife. Kevin Stefanski's wife. Hold on. Michelle Stefanski. Okay. Michelle Stefanski
is having an affair with Shedeur.
No, maybe, but probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. Okay. So if you go, Michelle Stefanski, Kevin Stefanski's wife, her father is Ed Stefanski. Okay. Michelle Stefanski's grandfather was a reporter back when Deion Sanders was a player. And he was avidly against Deion being both football and baseball. Was avidly against the whole thing. Talked a bunch of crap about it. There's a video online of Deion Sanders throwing water on a reporter because of, talking crap and whatever. That reporter is Michelle Stefanski's grandfather. So
really,
I don't know what her maiden name is. I don't know what her maiden name is, but Michelle, whatever her name is, her grandfather had beef with Deion for his entire reporting career. And then all of a sudden, now my granddaughter is married to a man who can pick up Deion's son for his team. No way I'm going to let that happen. No way my generational beef with the Sanders family is going to be broken right now. You don't pick that boy. And all of a sudden, all these reports come out at the end of the year how Kevin Stefanski doesn't like Deion, not fair to Deion, treating him poorly. All these reports come out, and I saw this week, and it's some real deep diving, look between the lines, trying to get in there, kind of stuff. But I love that conspiracy theory stuff. I love it, and boy, howdy,
it all makes sense now.
It has some merit.
It has some real
merit.
It does. It does. And like you said, it was on Instagram, so it has to be true.
Let's see.
It has to be true.
This was, I think the dark black Times podcast. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Nope. This is just the YouTube channel. There was a full. I saw a full podcast thing on it, but it doesn't matter what
They did a
podcast.
whole episode on this.
No, not a whole episode. It was like a piece of an episode of like
Oh, okay. Okay.
somebody figured out why Shador is getting the shaft or got the shaft, and
That's some good reporting right there. All right. Well, you got anything else you want to add about any of these teams before we wrap up here, Will?
if you are not a sports fan, I get it. First off, you're not listening to me right now anyway. But if you're not a sports fan, there's no real correlation you can make between the end of the season of your favorite sport and watching all of the different scenarios. It happened in baseball this year too, with if this team or that team and then this team and then the playoffs that happen. Right, the Lions right now, they're already in playoff mode. They have to win out just to keep playing. And so they're already there. And kind of the same with the Buccaneers, where they can lose a game, but they'd really rather not. And then the three teams in NFC West. Hey, if we keep winning, we have a shot at the first seed, at the number 1 seed. And the same thing, I'm way more in tune with the NFC than the AFC, but it's the same thing on the AFC side. The Steelers and the Ravens, they're already in playoffs, especially the Ravens. Hey, if we lose a game, we don't make the playoffs. We don't have a shot. We don't have a chance to win the Super Bowl if we don't win all of our games right now. And so the end of the season in the playoffs, the pre-playoffs, like the regular season playoffs that we're in right now, this is a window where the good teams become great and the okay teams become bad. And you're watching it with the Eagles. And there's an Eagles fan at work who's like, man, you guys talk so much crap about the Eagles. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I do. I don't mind doing it. But
that's mostly because of me, though. Like you talk crap about the Bears. I talk so much crap on the Eagles because I just hate them so much.
I did tell him I talk way more crap on the Bears than I do the Eagles. And he's like, I don't know. And then Joey, talked about him before on the show. He's like, well, hold on. He hates the Bears. But the Eagles have had kind of a monumental collapse right now. Yeah, they just beat the Raiders 31-0. But they're supposed to do that.
But it's the Raiders.
If they had lost to the Raiders, could you imagine how much I had to rip that whole team? Could you imagine Philadelphia right now? They would be rioting to get what's-his-bucket, not Stefanski, head coach out there. Real soft-spoken for the Eagles. Who's the Eagles head coach?
Soft-spoken? Nick Sirianni?
Yeah. Sirianni,
He is not soft-spoken. I've said this before. There is no coach that I want to punch more than Nick Sirianni, okay?
His early press conferences for the Eagles, well, it's just like planting some flowers, and we have to cultivate it, and we have to get our culture in here. It was
but then he's out here. Then he's out on the sideline laughing at Jared Goff when he misses a throw. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, well,
what are you doing?
He is.
Anyways,
that's the difference between being in Philadelphia and being Philadelphia. Like, he has full on adopted that I'm going to throw snowballs at Santa Claus culture.
Yeah.
So, but watching their monumental collapse at the end of the season that we've seen, and now watching them try to pick the pieces up, they're not really in danger of missing the playoffs. But if they continue to slide the way they're doing, fortunately for them, they play the Commanders, the Jaden Daniels-less Commanders, twice in the last 3 weeks. So, like you play the Bills in there too, and that's going to be a tough game. But you play the Commanders twice, and it's like, oh, well, okay, thanks for it. Good for us. We're a shoe-in right now. They can lose out. I do believe they can lose out and still comfortably make the playoffs as either the 4, probably even the 3 seed. Sorry, NFC South, but it's just not.
No, if they lose out and Dallas wins out, Dallas is in.
Dallas ain't winning out, buddy. There is no way. There is.
Anyways, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, sorry.
For those of you who are listening, again, what we were playing with is the NFL playoff machine. And so just go on ESPN or just go on Google and type in NFL playoff predictor, and you can go through the scenarios, all the different scenarios you want with your team, other teams, see if your team would make the playoffs in this scenario or that scenario. But that's all we have time for on today's episode, guys. And as always, don't forget to keep your balls played with. We'll see you next time.
Bye now, y'all. Also, Mark Davis' haircut still sucks.